Hello and welcome to the Westferry Times podcast, your go-to source for news, insights, and stories shaping our world today. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Harris. It's a heavy topic we're discussing today, so just a quick heads up, this might be distressing for some listeners.
Yeah, today we're diving into a truly heartbreaking case. The murder of 10-year-old Sara Sharif. You might have heard about it in the news recently. It's one of those cases that leaves you shocked and in disbelief.
Absolutely, it's just, it's hard to even comprehend. A little girl, so much potential, taken away from this world in the most horrific way.
Let's start with the basics. Sara Sharif was found dead at her home in Woking, Surrey, last year. She had suffered what can only be described as unimaginable abuse.
Yeah, it's just, the details are gut-wrenching. She was beaten, burned, and even had bite marks on her body. And the most chilling part, this had been going on for over 2 years.
That's right. Her father, Irfan Sharif, and his partner, Binish Batul, have both been found guilty of her murder. But what makes this even harder to process is the fact that no one intervened, despite multiple signs that something was terribly wrong.
Exactly. I mean, it's just, how did no one notice? Her school had reported bruises and neighbors heard disturbing sounds, yet nothing was done until it was too late.
So Sara's parents had a pretty complicated relationship history, right? Her mother, Olga Domin, and father, Irfan, separated back in 2015.
Yeah, and after that, it was a mess of custody battles. By 2019, Sara was living with her father, Irfan, and stepmother, Batul. That's when things started going downhill.
That's when everything started falling apart. Sara went from being in a loving environment with her mother to being in an environment that was, frankly, abusive and neglectful. She was eventually homeschooled after her injuries became more noticeable.
And the injuries, Sara had over 70 visible injuries when she was found. I can't even imagine the pain she went through. The police reports mentioned fractures, burns, even scalding from hot water.
At the trial, Irfan Sharif initially claimed his wife was responsible for Sara's death. But then, in a twist, he admitted full responsibility for the murder.
I can't imagine what was going on in his mind. To first protect his wife and then just own up to everything. It's almost like he couldn't live with the guilt anymore.
Yeah, and let's not forget, her uncle, Faisal Malik, was convicted for causing or allowing her death. It's like the entire family turned a blind eye to what was happening.
Which, honestly, is terrifying. It makes you question, what kind of system do we have in place to protect children like Sara? Why did this go unnoticed for so long?
You raise a really important point. Children's Commissioner Dame Rachel de Souza has said that this case highlights profound weaknesses in the child protection system. Sara had been known to social care even before she was born, but somehow she slipped through the cracks.
Yeah, it's just, Sara's story is a wake-up call. There are children like her who are out there, and we need to make sure this doesn't happen again.
Right. We can't just have reviews, strategies, and debates. We need action. Sara's legacy has to be about real change in child protection systems, especially for kids being homeschooled or in isolated situations.
Before we close, let's take a moment to remember Sara for who she was. A beautiful, bright, and loving child, as her mother described her.
Absolutely. Her mother, Olga, said that Sara's smile could brighten up any room, and that's how we should remember her. Not for the horrific circumstances of her death, but for the joy she brought to the world during her short life.
Thank you all for listening to this podcast. Please, if you or anyone you know is experiencing abuse, reach out to the proper authorities or support services.
Yes, let's not let Sara's tragic death be in vain. Thanks for tuning in.
Until next time, stay informed and stay curious. Bye for now. Good day.